How important is compression? Very important. So, I had a music student who was a first year. We met at Tatum, which is where like we get coffee on campus, and we talked for a little bit, just kind of like whatever, blah blah blah. And it came up that I was a sound designer, and he had so many questions for me, like what kind of mics should I use because I play acoustic guitar and I want to record, but I don't know which mic is good. And then it came up to the topic of um, using inserts like distortion or stuff like that, and I brought up compression, and he goes, "Oh, isn't that thing where you just like put a little gain cap?" I was like, "No way, dude." It's a lot more than that. Like, compression can change an instrument completely from how it sounded before and then how it sounded after. Like, take drums for instance. Like, I always compress drums because, take like your kick drum, your basic kick drum. Now you can take your original and change it to whatever you want using compression. It's kind of insane. Like, anybody who knows how to make like a hard drop or a hard kick knows how to use compression, because basically what, all right, let me explain the concept of compression. So normally in a sound, like a normal sound, like let's say, we're just doing like a clap, bad clap. So it goes attack first, then a decay, sustain, and then a release. Now the attack is the initial clap. That's the hit, the bam that you hear in a clap or in a kick drum, for example. And then the decay is when it kind of drops off a little bit. Sustain is kind of the meat of the sound itself. It kind of, as it, like in the like in the kick drum, the boom is the sustain, and then the release. That's when it drops off and disappears. Now, each one of these segments is vital to how a kick drum or a snare drum or any kind of drum can sound. You change up the attack a little bit, you shorten up that attack, you get a clickier, a little snappier drum kick. And then maybe you want that, but then you also want it to ring out a little bit, so you turn down the attack a little bit, hit up that sustain, then you've got a snappy drum that holds itself a little bit longer. Like, I'm sure you're all probably thinking about it right now, like, whoa, what could I do with all that shit? That. You can do that. Most people look at it from face value and say, oh, it's just, you set your threshold so that you don't, gain out and then you distort. That's like the very tip of a huge iceberg. I mean, any insert you can say that of, like EQ. Like, EQing is so important, or even having like a light phase or flanger on it can change a vocal completely. But especially, I think compression gets overlooked so much as a thing you can use. So many people just kind of see it for face value and then just dismiss it. And I think that is wrong. Compression is more than that. It's such an imperative thing, and I use it all the time. Although the one thing that I would say is, once you start playing with compression, be wary to not use it on everything, because not everything can be fixed with compression. Like, I figured it out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and then for like the next 3 months, all I did was add compressors to things, and people were like, Jesus, it's so compressed. And I'm like, oh, but it sounds great. Like, that's not the sound I want. Take it off. So just know that it is a way to solve a problem that could, that not other things can solve as easily. Just saying. And it's probably one of the easiest way to edit audio that's already been done. I don't know. It's it's another tool. We have a gigantic toolbox of things we could use to solve problems, and compression is one of them. Just not a very well recognized one. So I guess that's the moral of this video is compression is good. Yes. That. All right. I think. Is that it? Next adventure. Next adventure. Peace.